Welcome to China, a land considered one of the greatest ancient civilizations in the world, and the only one still preserved in its entirety to this day, amid swirling clouds and towering cliffs where ancient temples hide in the sunset and are blanketed in white snow without ever fading. Time seems to pause to listen to legends that have never fallen asleep, like a sea of red blossoms blooming in a silent valley. A monastery rests like a dream, whispered by the stars, could each roof here be a closed lotus petal, guarding age-old prayers among layers of drifting clouds below the ancient village, stretches like a solemn tapestry where time slows down to the soft rustle of wind and evening smoke. Life here is so peaceful, it makes one wonder, could this be the place where lost tranquility returns to the heart? And if you dare cross the threshold between reality and myth, will you have the courage to uncover the sacred mysteries hidden beneath each roof and glowing light in this timeless valley? Seda Monastery, one of the largest Buddhist institutes in the world, home to over 40,000 monks and nuns, living and studying at nearly 13,000 feet, surrounded by majestic mountains. Founded in 1980 by the revered Kano Jigme Fansok, it swiftly became a vital centre for spreading the Dharma. Crimson wooden houses built by the monks' own hands blanket the mountain slopes like an endless red tapestry. The Grand Lecture Hall stands as the heart of festivals, teachings, and gatherings of thousands. Ancient cremation rites still endure, reminding all of impermanence and guiding the soul's journey. This was once a refuge for martial arts masters who left behind secret manuals never revealed. Legends tell of fighters moving through the air with special techniques, and within the drifting clouds and glowing lights, secrets still await those brave enough to seek them. The Mogao Caves were built along sandstone cliffs on the edge of the desert, where dry air and dramatic temperature shifts preserved their art for over 1,000 years. Stretching for nearly a mile, more than 700 caves hold thousands of Buddha statues and wall paintings, some spanning hundreds of square feet. Many statues rise up to 100 feet tall, a testament to carving and construction skills far ahead of their time. In the early 20th century, archaeologists discovered a sealed library cave closed for 900 years, holding over 5,000 ancient texts, paintings, and records. Local legend says a monk began the site after seeing a strange light on the cliff, believing it was a sign from the Buddha. Many caves remain closed today for preservation or due to damage from the past. Where the Sichuan Plain meets the Tibetan Plateau, the terrain and climate shift in an instant. This land holds ancient forests, waterfalls, drifting clouds, and Buddhist temples clinging to the mountainsides. Legend says Samantabhadra Bodhisattva appeared here, and the Buddha's light has been seen many times. Not far away, Fenghuang ancient town, over 300 years old, lines the river with more than 200 stilted wooden houses built entirely with interlocking joinery, without nails, standing strong through centuries. Today, local families still preserve traditional crafts such as hand embroidery, indigo dyeing and silver forging, skills passed down through generations. The entire old town is paved with natural blue stones, worn smooth by time, yet unbroken. Wood-carving workshops create religious artifacts, decorations, and traditional musical instruments. The architecture blends Miao and Han styles, seen in wall patterns, roof colours, and residential layouts. During flood season, Riverside paths may flood, but stilt houses remain safe, showcasing remarkable adaptive construction. Hundreds of miles away, the Daming Palace, built in 634 during the Tang dynasty, served as the political centre for over 200 years, covering more than 3 million square feet, 4 times the size of the later Forbidden City. The entire Daming Palace complex included over 80 palaces, corridors, and structures, arranged along clear main and secondary axes. Ancient builders used wooden joinery, earthquake-resistant foundations, and advanced underground drainage systems. It hosted major Tang dynasty decisions, from economic reforms and administrative planning to international diplomacy. Famous emperors like Wu Zetian and Emperor Xuanzong are tied to its golden age. Daming Palace is seen as a symbol of ancient China's peak in urban development, politics, and cultural civilization. If this journey has touched your heart, leave a comment, drop a like, share it with those you care about, and subscribe to the channel so we can continue exploring more extraordinary stories where the past and present still whisper to each other. Thousands of miles away, the classical gardens of Suzhou, over 2,000 years old, flourished during the Ming and Qing dynasties, built by scholars and officials as retreats for meditation, conversation, and artistic gatherings. Their layouts follow ancient feng shui principles, with taihu stones, ponds, plants, zigzag corridors, pavilions, and arched stone bridges, some spanning up to 54,000 square feet. Many walls in Suzhou's gardens curve gracefully, with decorative windows framing scenes like painted landscapes. Several have been preserved for over 400 years, serving as models of traditional East Asian landscape design. They embody harmony between life philosophy and crafted environmental beauty. Far away, Mount Tiantai rises about 3,700 feet, its layered granite terrain forming natural cliffs, slopes, and waterfalls. It is the birthplace of Tiantai Buddhism in the 6th century, one of China's 3 great Buddhist schools. The mountain harbours over 1,000 plant species, including rare medicinal herbs, wild orchids, and ancient cedar trees under strict protection. A moist climate sustains morning fog, small streams, and waterfalls year-round. And in some places, natural echoes resonate through the valleys. Mount Tiantai is famed not only for its suspended clouds described in old Buddhist texts, but also for natural mineral springs, once used in traditional medicine to heal and restore health. It is one of the rare places where Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism have long coexisted and thrived. From here, the journey leads to the Great Wall of China. Over 13,000 miles long, the world's largest defensive structure, begun in the 7th century BC and expanded through many dynasties, especially the Qin and Ming. Standing about 25 feet high and 30 feet wide, built from tamped earth, stone, and bricks, it formed a continuous defense network. Thousands of watchtowers spaced every few hundred feet, once sent signals of smoke or fire during battles. Legend tells of Lady Mengjiang, whose tears brought down a section of the wall. For more than 2,000 years, the Great Wall served as both a military defense and a symbol of political power for ancient rulers. In 1987, UNESCO declared it a World Heritage Site, and today it draws millions of visitors from around the globe. The journey then leads to the Potala Palace, standing over 12,000 feet above sea level, the largest structure on the Asian plateau. Its walls are about 10 feet thick and rise over 400 feet high, enclosing more than 1,000 rooms, built entirely without modern machinery. Begun in the 7th century and expanded in the 17th, it has withstood centuries of harsh weather. Inside, golden stupas hold the remains of past leaders, their surfaces covered in real gold. Legend says the site was chosen by divine power and that the spirits of its leaders still dwell within the palace walls. Inside the Potala palace are countless statues, carvings, and ancient texts crafted from silver, precious stones, and solid gold. In 1994, it was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, becoming a major religious and cultural landmark worldwide. Next comes the Summer Palace, a renowned Chinese garden blending nature with traditional architecture. Built in the 18th century as a retreat for the emperor and his family, it showcases the exquisite craftsmanship of ancient Chinese artisans, combining traditional styles with Western influences. The Summer Palace is tied to many legends, including that of Empress Dowager Cixi, who rebuilt and expanded it after destruction. More than a place of leisure, it stands as a cultural symbol of the Qing dynasty's power and prosperity. And as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, it draws millions of visitors each year. The Temple of Heaven was where ancient Chinese emperors held ceremonies to heaven, symbolizing supreme authority and a sacred bond with the sky. Built entirely from wood, without a single metal nail, it has endured for centuries. Its design follows the rule of round for heaven, square for earth, with blue roof tiles for the sky and square stone bases for the ground. Every detail aligns with the number 9, representing the emperor's highest power. The most important ritual took place on the winter solstice, when the emperor stood alone on a stone called the Heart of Heaven to pray. The space was laid out along a north-south axis, kept open without barriers for direct connection to the sky. If this journey has touched your heart, leave a comment, drop a like, share it with those you care about, and subscribe to the channel, so we can continue exploring more extraordinary stories where the past and present still whisper to each other. Not far away lie the Eastern Qing tombs, the largest burial site of the Qing dynasty, with over 15 tombs on land, chosen for special feng shui, surrounded by forests and hills, and an underground stream believed to be part of an imperial energy line. In 1928, the tomb of Empress Dowager Cixi was illegally opened. Her body remained intact after more than a century, surrounded by hundreds of pearls and precious jewels. The robbery caused the loss of many artifacts and severe structural damage to the tomb. Some tombs in the Eastern Qing complex were built completely off traditional feng shui alignment, believed to conceal underground tunnels and treasure vaults never revealed. Theories suggest hidden mazes beneath certain tombs, with multiple false doors to mislead and block intruders. From these mysteries, the journey moves to Longmen Grottoes, a Buddhist site carved directly into towering limestone cliffs flanking the river. Construction began in the 5th century under the Northern Wei and continued for over 400 years across several dynasties. The site holds more than 20,300 caves and about 11,000 Buddha statues, including one towering 55 feet high. The statues show a blend of Indian and Chinese artistry, especially in the faces and clothing. Historical records tell of emperors and nobles personally funding the carvings to express devotion. Longmen Grottoes was named a UNESCO World Heritage Site, standing as vivid historical proof of ancient culture, religion, and engineering. From here, the journey moves to Pingyao Ancient City, one of the few walled cities in China that still preserves its full defensive and urban layout. Built during the Ming Dynasty, the wall stands about 40 feet high, stretches nearly 4 miles, and forms an almost perfect square. In the 18th and 19th centuries, Pingyao was a major financial hub, the birthplace of China's first banking system known as Piaoju. Its buildings are made of baked brick, with curved roofs, stone-paved roads, and follow a classical layout. The city maintains Confucian values and folk beliefs, showing how traditional Chinese society was organized. In 1997, UNESCO recognized it as a World Heritage Site for its unique historical, cultural, and architectural value. And then, Farman Temple, home to the finger relic of Shakyamuni Buddha, one of the most sacred treasures in Buddhist history. At Farman Temple, archaeologists uncovered more than 2,000 ancient items, including gold Buddha statues and Tang Dynasty porcelain. The Buddha's finger relic was stored inside multiple layers of boxes made from gold, silver, and gemstones, reflecting the highest reverence. Reports tell of mysterious lights emanating from the relic's container at night, witnessed by monks and locals. Old records never mentioned the location of this underground vault, perhaps intentionally concealing it. Some experts believe another hidden chamber lies beneath the temple, holding treasures still buried. This discovery is considered one of the most stunning Buddhist-related archaeological events of the 20th century. From here, the journey leads to the Forbidden City, a palace complex covering about 72,000 square meters, the political heart of China for over 500 years. It contains more than 8,700 rooms, built entirely with ancient wooden joinery without a single iron nail. Its walls stand nearly 33 feet high and 26 feet thick, designed to withstand ancient cannon fire. Over 100,000 eunuchs once lived and worked here, many carrying imperial secrets still sealed to this day. Within the Forbidden City, certain rooms were deliberately built with reversed feng shui, like invisible cages meant to confine evil spirits and rebellious souls. Beneath the palace roofs, secret corridors let the emperor glide silently through the shadows, preserving his life and cloaking the throne in mystery. Then, in 1974, from a quiet plain ringed by low hills, the Terracotta Army emerged. Over 8,000 warriors, horses and chariots, each face and armor seeming to carry its own soul. Bronze weapons still gleam cold after more than 2 millennia, defying time itself. Beneath the earth, mercury pools match legends of a silver river flowing around the tomb, and the main chamber remains sealed, guarding secrets untouched. If this journey has touched your heart, leave a comment, drop a like, share it with those you care about, and subscribe to the channel so we can continue exploring more extraordinary stories where the past and present still whisper to each other. Far beyond lies the mausoleum of the Yellow Emperor, the forefather of Chinese civilization, resting in silence among ancient pines and mountains, where thousands of trees are said to have been planted by his own hand over 4,000 years ago. From here, the path leads to Mount Tai, a sacred peak tied to the Feng and Shan ceremony, one of ancient China's most significant political and religious rites. At least 13 emperors personally ascended to its summit to perform the heaven worship ritual. The mountain still holds more than 2,200 stone carvings and inscriptions from various dynasties, some over 1,000 years old and still perfectly clear, like the immortal echo of history. Mount Tai has more than 7,000 stone steps leading to its summit, all carved from sandstone, still solid after thousands of years. Its rock layers date back around 2 billion years, among the oldest geological formations on Earth. Ancient belief held that watching the sunrise from its peak brought good fortune and long life. And even today, people hike overnight to greet the first light of dawn. And so, the journey has carried us through sacred peaks, crowned with clouds, golden palaces, ancient walled cities, and immortal statues carved in stone. Every place we've walked through is not just a wonder, but a fragment of civilization's memory. Here, time seems to pause, letting the wind whisper the tales of the past and the light touch secrets never before revealed. Perhaps the greatest wonder is not what we see, but the feeling that, no matter how the world changes, these treasures still stand as eternal witnesses of history. And as the doors of this journey close, one question remains in your heart. Where will you go next to find the story that belongs to you? If you want to continue discovering untold mysteries, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell, because the next video might change the way you see the universe.